Good morning, sports fans. Welcome to the Cheap Seats on WLCN 96.3 FM, and we are broadcasting live at the Harvest of Talents. So if you're not doing anything, get on out here. It's a great fundraiser for a great cause. I don't want to throw out false information, but maybe we can get somebody on later and talk about what's going on. Joined by Joe Ryan, Jim Ash, Lloyd Kirby, and for his last debut or last visit of the season, Coach Sokowski. Good morning, Coach.
Morning. Thanks for having me, guys.
Coach, first playoff game last night in 39 years. We head over to Rochester. We knew what type of team they are. You know, they're the number one team in 4A in the state. And unfortunately, that's our first matchup. You know, your kids played a hell of a game.
Yeah.
You know, they fought till the end. You know, you scored on Rochester there in the first quarter, tied it up at 7, and you know they weren't happy about that. But, you know, you drew up a good play, halfback pass, got on the board in the first, had everybody pumped up. And your kids played well. They played hard. They fought till the end. Unfortunately, the scoreboard wasn't in our favor. But great season, nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it was a lot of fun last night. You know, obviously, you know, you give up a big 51-yard touchdown run on the first play, and you're like, oh, man, here we go again. Like, just like Week 7 was. And then, yeah, we matched it. And, you know, we've had that play in. You know, that's in our playbook for years now, and we really only run it once or twice a year. And, you know, we've went into other games wanting to call that play, but we just didn't get the look from the corner that we wanted. And watching film from our Week 7 game with them, we felt their corner was going to really bite hard when we went to the perimeter, and that's the exact look we got. And Keon made a perfect throw, and Gabe got under it and outran some guys, and yeah, we're tied with them 7-7. You know, that team will be playing for a state title more than likely against ICC out of Elmhurst.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when you give Keon the ball and he heads outside, you better come up.
Yeah, you kind of have to respect that.
You got that guy on an island.
Yeah, you kind of have to respect that, and that's kind of the great part of that play. And yeah, it worked out great, and you know, it was fun. The kids played really hard. You know, I'm glad they got to, you know, enjoy that experience and kind of embrace that and take it in. And, you know, our kids did that. It was awesome.
It's got to help build for next year, you know, the future.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope so. And, you know, now that I hope, you know, the kids see that it can be done and, you know, they want to come out and be a part of it.
So as far as your game plan went last night, Coach, you know, we played Rochester, 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I don't think we had any positive yardage for the whole game. Last night, a whole different story for you guys. You know, you were able to move the ball. Your passing was there. Did you go? I mean, I know everything was on the table last night. No holds barred. You know, it's a playoff game. You win, you move on. You lose, you go home. So there were no limits last night for you.
No, there's nothing. We were going to onside kick every time we kicked off. We'd even practice. I mean, we practiced kicking squib kicks and stuff like that, but that was not really in the plan. We were going to onside kick every time. You know, Angel picked them pretty well, and Keon kicked the one. That was something we just put in this week, where you know, Angel fake kicked it and Keon kicked it, and yeah, it was all out there. And you know, we changed our defense up a little bit. We put more guys near the ball. Got out of our base 3-3. So that kind of helped a little bit, and played some, you know, different coverage type stuff. And, you know, we're just trying to slow it down. Obviously, you know, Coach Leonard's a heck of a coach, and once he figures out what you're doing, he's going to pick that thing apart. And that's just kind of what he does. But, I'd like to think we gave him a little bit of a hard time. And, you know, like you said, Week 7, though, we didn't move the ball very well. I think we got 1 first down all night and that night. And last night was completely different. And we stopped them on, you know, we got them in the 3rd and 4th downs. I mean, they had 1st and goal from the 2, and they ended up with 4th and goal from the 1.
Yeah.
And there's no penalties on that. That was just playing straight up. And that was, you know, it was really cool to see them fight like that. And that was when the ones were still in, too. That wasn't like backup stuff. So that was awesome. And, yeah, definitely a lot to be proud of. And, you know, just the support we got from everybody throughout the week was awesome. You know, the assembly last night, or yesterday during the school, and Officer Rohr escorting us to the expressway, and then obviously you know, coming back into town too. It was, you know, it was all just part of the experience for our kids, and it was really cool.
Made him punt a few times last night.
We did make him punt a few times. Yeah, it's true.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, it was. You know, our kids played really hard. You know, our stats got all messed up, so we got to go back and restat it. But you know, I don't know exactly how many 3rd down and 4th downs they were in, but it felt like we're consistently getting them in third down, and I feel like we got a handful of first downs and moved the ball effectively, and it definitely was more through the air, which we kind of expected was going to happen. They're just we're just outmatched in the box with those guys, so we had to kind of use our passing game to do it, and we hit some plays in it.
Some turnovers last night, Coach. It kind of hurt us. We were talking before we went on air. Stevens had a fumble, and that was your first fumble of the season.
First fumble loss of the season. Yeah, we put, I think, one on the ground
amazing.
against Jacksonville, but yeah, it was the first fumble loss of the season. Was in week 10.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Now, obviously, that's something that you guys preach, through the whole season is ball control. Take care of the ball. Don't give them another possession.
The ball is more important than the yards.
Yeah, absolutely.
And amazing, though, that out of how many times Keon carried the ball all year to not have a fumble?
Yeah, he never coughed one up. Yeah, he takes a lot of pride in that.
It's incredible.
To take care of the football. Yeah, it's kind of one of our pillars of offense is you got to take care of the football. If you don't I was at a coaching clinic and I heard Lou Holt say, the football is the most important thing in the game. They named the game after it. Just kind of, and that kind of has always stuck with me, is that protect the football.
Yeah, you don't want to give them extra possessions.
No, a team like that, you can't do.
And unfortunately, last night we did. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they scored on each of those turnovers, so.
Yeah, they could have, yeah. It kind of all runs together. I haven't watched it,
Yeah, and you may not,
Yeah, at some point
later down the road. Obviously there's a bitter taste in your mouth. You go into these games prepared to win. Rochester, we know what they are. You knew it was going to be a tough one. How do you instill that in the kids just to stay focused, go out, play your game, which they did. They played well, they played hard, kept it a game, and that had to be one of your focal points through the year or through this game is just make a game of it. Go out there, compete, and things are going to take care of themselves. Have fun, leave it out all on the field, and see what happens.
Yeah, the message pregame was just no regrets. Obviously you go out there pregame. We wanted the kids to take it all in and embrace it, and and that was kind of the pregame. Then once we went back in before kickoff, the focus changed. It was no regrets. If this is the last game you ever play, or if this is the last game of your season, just have no regrets with what you do. Just, walk out knowing you gave everything you had, and, I think our guys did that.
Yeah, absolutely. A big group of seniors, so, I don't want to say a rebuild for next year, but you've lost some key components to your team. I know you had a lot of underclassmen step up and play, which is going to help you in the future. How do you go about getting these kids prepared for next year, because you are losing several seniors and some good ones?
Yeah. Fortunately, just the way we've kind of set things up over the years is we do have a good crew that will, kind of fill in. And some really good leaders there too. Tate Johnson's back, Frank Sanders is back, Jaden Gully, Peyton Bunner, Gabe Smith, Zach Poole will only be a junior. Those are all guys. Alec Claudio got some really good experience this year as well. You got other guys.
There.
Yeah,
Aiden Fry, is another guy who plays some good big time spot roles for us in defense and linebacker.
What's Gully? Is he a senior?
No, Gully,
he's
a junior. Yeah, so there's a lot coming back. Obviously, you need to find some guys in the hallway that should be playing that currently aren't. So that will kind of be our focus here the next couple months, is getting those guys on board, and that's got to be the team. The guys currently with us recruiting their friends and things like that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
We plan on having Sam White on here in the future, but how many do we have? A big class of 8th graders, do you know, from youth football?
Yeah, I think about 10 or 12 of them. So we usually get a lot of kids that didn't play
First
youth
time
football.
out.
Yeah, which is good. We kind of get them blank canvas on them. We can kind of mold them our way a little bit. So that, it's not always the worst thing.
You mentioned Frank Sanders on that. He had a big sack last night.
Yeah, he's really turned into a pretty good football player for us. Yeah.
Dude. Did he get a little banged or not? I saw him kind of limping. He all right?
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's tough. He's good. He'll take a week off. He'll be fine. He'll be good to go for basketball, following Monday. But yeah, he's really turned it on for us, and really fell in love with the game. game, and it's really obvious that his passion has really grown for it. And and you got Kyle Keeler coming back too. He played a lot of varsity experience this year at outside linebacker for us. So yeah, just going to find those pieces. Obviously, things will look differently offensively. The jet sweep that we've been running till the cows come home the past 3 years will not be what it was, more than likely. But we'll find different creative ways to get the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, and as a coaching staff, that's tough, when you're used to running a certain type of offense, and then you kind of just have to throw that out the window and find something that works. And credit to you guys, that's hard to do. And you got to be open-minded.
Yeah,
you got to run plays that fit your personnel.
Yeah, that's kind of fun too, though. That's kind of the fun part of the job, is you kind of, we'll kind of sit back and, enjoy this one for a little bit. And, when clinic season comes around, we'll kind of sit down as an offensive staff and figure out which direction we want to take it. And but then there'll be surprises to that. Some kids might come out that you didn't expect, so that might be, oh, this kid can do this for us now. And so it'll kind of be interesting. It'll be fun. That's the fun part of it. And I know our guys will be hungry that are coming back. I think this team has set a new standard.
Absolutely.
Which is awesome. Is every team's kind of been building standard, and this one kind of did their part in setting a new standard for Lincoln Rail Splitter football.
Yeah, and it's a standard that we haven't seen for a long time, and now, the kids have a taste of it. I mean, the atmosphere and the energy probably through school this week was a little different, knowing that, hey, we're in the playoffs, and that's a fun week for the kids.
Oh, absolutely. It was a lot of fun, very happy to, a lot of the student body was, very, they were coming up and just congratulating us on the season and things, and that was a lot of fun to see our players get the recognition that they deserve, for all the hard work that they did. And it was really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're going to get the seniors on next week?
Yes.
We have them on?
Yes.
There's some kids on there that are, wow, how important was Colby Glenn coming out?
Oh, I know.
Wow.
That's kind of where I was walking in with him last night, and that was kind of, just like, hey, I'm really glad you came out. Really.
Boy, is he tough.
Yeah. Yeah, he added something that our defense was missing, and I think that was a missing piece. We need somebody, really tough out there with some experience, on that defense to kind of feed some energy. He's a high energy guy, he brings a lot to it, and I think Tate Johnson's kind of the same way, and Frank Sanders started developing any of that. So to kind of have multiple guys, just it helps feed the energy, especially after a big play, and it was a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
You'll give them a couple weeks off and get them in the weight room, or a little longer.
No, I think our guys, some of the guys last night, they're turning their stuff in. It's like, when do we get going? When do we start again? We're ready to go. And
good.
Yeah, they need to recover. They definitely need some time to recover.
Yeah.
Some guys going to wrestle, some guys going to play basketball. So we'll give some time for those things to get rolling, and then we'll work with the new strength and conditioning coach that the school hired and kind of get on his plan and let him kind of guide us in the next direction of our program.
Yeah, hit the weight room,
Oh, yeah.
because it's a physical game, and you can win it up front, with your line. That makes a big difference.
Yeah. We, fortunately, we do have, of the 5 guys that started up front for us last night, 4 of them are back.
Okay.
So, you're not, you're losing out. You're missing the Carsons, and, those guys are graduating, and Darren, and those are 3 very big pieces of what we did offensively. But the guys that really make it work are back. So, and there's some, there's a couple sophomores that we think can compete for that 5th spot, and Sean Hicks and Preston Hunt and Caleb Zirkenbach. Those are guys that, we feel will be able to compete for that spot. And,
tough to make up for the Carson speed.
That will be hard to do.
Yeah.
That will be hard to do. And that's kind of where some, we'll add maybe some more misdirection type stuff into what we do. We'll see.
Yeah, we will.
We'll see. We'll figure out. We'll analyze our skill sets and what our guys do well, and we'll kind of go from there.
It's a fun year to watch.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Appreciate that, guys.
It was fun.
Thanks for everything all season.
Great ride.
Fun.
Yeah, we hate to see it end, but you're always going to have a winner and a loser, and like we said earlier, nothing to be ashamed of. These kids hold their head high, and hopefully this experience kind of triggers those younger kids to get more interested and stick with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you never know. Your kids change. They develop so much.
Even
like you
know, freshmen and sophomores, they over those next year or two, just the way they develop, they're going to grow. They're going to get stronger, faster. So.
And let's face it, some of those kids that are sitting around when they watched all this, they're like, hey, you know what? I need to go out for that next year.
You're hearing a few. Yeah, we're hearing a few kids. Some names kind of flying out there. So, but we'll see who shows up. It's fresh right now.
Yeah.
It's fresh right now, and there'll be some other athletic teams are going to have a lot of success throughout, the school year. Girls volleyball, boys and girls basketball, and so a lot of things will happen. Some other teams are going to do some really good things, which is awesome too. So, but hopefully it's still fresh in the spring and guys come out.
We're going to have to put your recruiting hat on and roam them hallways and start.
Hopefully our playoff T-shirts help with that.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, we appreciate you coming on all season. It's obviously a lot easier after a win than a loss, but, great year. We appreciate you coming on every Saturday morning, and we look forward to next year. I know it's
looking forward to next
be
week.
Here.
Yeah, we'll do it one more time next week with the seniors.
Yeah.
I mean, 19 of them, so they'll probably take up most of your show.
Well, that's what we like. The less we have to talk,
that's exactly right,
the better. So we will see you next Saturday. I'm not sure where we'll be yet.
Furniture Jakes.
We're gonna have to have some room.
Yeah.
Maybe we can push some love seats together, Jim. Yeah, okay.
That's all if they get out of bed. It is Saturday morning and the season's over. They haven't got to sleep in on a Saturday, so hopefully they'll be pumped up and ready to come on the show.
Absolutely.
All right, Coach. Thanks again. I know you got some things to clean up today after the final game of the season. It's a never-ending job. So now's the dirty work.
Yeah.
The not so much fun work.
No, not the fun stuff, but the must-do stuff.
The must-do. All right, Coach. Thanks again.
Thanks, guys.
And we'll see you next Saturday.
Yep, we'll be here.
All right, let's take a commercial break. We come back. We'll have more here on the Cheap Seats on WLCN 96.3 FM.
If you're not happy with the way your home landscape looks, but not sure what you need to do or how to fix it, then it might be time to get a little help from your friends at Bees Landscaping. Their highly trained and courteous staff will do all the work that fits your style and budget, including retaining walls, patios, sidewalks, leveling and grading yards, seeding and fertilizing, or new sod installation. Bees Landscaping, 1302 State Route 10. We are making a difference.
The heart of memory care consists of providing person-directed care to know and to work with each resident as an individual and to provide them with care as unique as they are. At Copper Creek Cottages Memory Care in Lincoln, our caring, compassionate staff, enriching activities, and cottage front apartments all provide the secure, safe environment that your loved one requires. Hi, I'm Deb Mox, Administrator at Copper Creek Cottages. Let Copper Creek Cottages Memory Care be the light in your journey.
This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com.
Timber Creek Village Assisted Living understands the emotional journey of moving to a new home. That's why we work hard to make the transition as easy for you as possible. We currently have apartments available and invite you to come by and let us show you how we can provide you with a stress-free lifestyle and why Timber Creek Village is top choice for retirement living in Lincoln. You'll enjoy private apartments, 3 home-cooked meals a day, daily activities, socialization with other residents, and care centered around your individual needs. Timber Creek Village, where people become friends and friends become family.
WLCN with Joe, Jake, and Shabadoo.
Seats on WLCN 96.3 FM, broadcasting live from the Lincoln Christian Church in the Fellowship Hall for the Harvest of Talents. If you're not doing anything today, we've got a great crowd out here today. Probably one of the biggest crowds we've ever had, Joe.
This is a huge crowd that came to our show.
Yeah. Yep. Came here specifically
hey, now
for
you
this.
be nice.
Impressed. Very impressive.
Yeah. And so, if you're not doing anything on this chilly Saturday morning, it is fall. Get on out here. It's for a great cause. Maybe we can get somebody on to talk about it here in the next segment, just to let us know what was going on. I could probably kind of tell you, but I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we'll let somebody else.
We'll let somebody else that knows something take care of that. Speaking of knowing something, we have the Lincoln Community High School Madrigal performers. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, and a little different face this morning than we're used to seeing. Tom Quinn, he got the call up today. Kim had some other things to take care of, so you get the honor of sitting in with us today and tell us what's going on. First of all, go ahead and introduce yourself, and then tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, my name's Tom Quinn. I'm the lucky husband of Kim Peterson Quinn, who
overachiever.
Yes, who has been working at the high school for I believe 28 years. And this is actually her final year. She's going to retire at the end of this year, and I've been helping her. This year will be the 27th Madrigal dinner that she has produced at the high school.
Wow!
And this is the last one. They've actually had a couple 3 years here where they weren't able to do it because of the pandemic. Last year they did a performance of the play on stage at the high school, but they didn't have the dinner because it was because we were still dealing with COVID. So this year's the last one, and so they're going out in style. They're going to actually do it at the high school. They've done it in different places. They started at the high school. They started in the high school cafeteria when she did her first one. Then for a number of years they did it at the Maple Club,
which was awesome.
It was fantastic. It was perfect. It was a beautiful venue for this event. And then they did it at there's a place out by El Maz. It's
the Lincoln Banquet Center.
A banquet center.
Lincoln Banquet Center.
They did it there for a number of years, and then this year she decided to go back to the beginning and put it back into the cafeteria at the high school, and so that's where it's going to be. I've got specific instructions about getting tickets.
We wouldn't expect anything less.
So tickets are $15 a piece. I believe Saturday there's a performance on Saturday and a performance on Sunday. I believe the Saturday performance is sold out. Am I right, you guys?
Yep.
Saturday is sold out. Sunday there are still tickets, and if you want tickets, you should call this number, 217-732-4131. Go to extension 1257. And that's actually Kim's extension. And you can leave a message for she's out of town at the moment, but you can leave a message for the number of tickets that you want, and make sure that you make those reservations for Sunday because there aren't any left for Saturday. And the performance on Sunday, checking.
You're doing an excellent job.
Thanks,
I'm going to tell you what.
Take your time.
I know how to follow directions, so you're doing an excellent job.
I have to. She's going to watch this videotape, and I know I got to get it right. So the let's see, Sunday the 12th. On Sunday, the performance begins at 2 p.m. So the doors open at 1:30 at the Lincoln High School cafeteria.
Okay. And this is a dinner and everything, huh?
It is, and actually, there's I have actually been involved in the, as you might imagine, involved in the Madrigal Dinner since it began. I actually teach theater. I teach acting and performance, and so she brings me in to work with the students at various points in the process when they're getting ready for the show. I've actually spent the last couple of Fridays working with these guys, getting ready for getting their performances ready for the show. So, I actually, when she first started, she was using some scripts that she found online, and they were okay. But she came to me and she said, "Could you write me like a little skit, just to sort of stick into the main play?" Or a couple of them. So I wrote a couple of skits, and she liked them, and so the next year, the next several years, she would come to me and go, "Hey, can you write me a couple more skits?" And so a few years passed, and we had like 15 of these things. But there's actually there is a sort of a what? I mean, there are madrigal dinners, madrigal performances done all over the Western world. They're very popular. They started out in the Renaissance in England and across Europe. And they were basically when noble, the gentry or nobility would have a Christmas party, and they would have all their friends over, and the guests at the party actually were the entertainment. They would actually, some of them would sing together, and eventually they started developing these really intricate and elaborate harmonies and Christmas songs that have become now part of that canon. And so these guys are going to be performing a lot of those pieces, a lot of that music for the Madrigal Dinner. And the way the dinner works is that, there are a whole bunch of set pieces. There's a processional where they all come in singing, and then there's a jester's welcome. There's a royal welcome where the king and queen and prince and princess welcome the guests. And then there's a wassail toast, and there's the boar's head presentation, and then there's lots of different set pieces and skits in between. So after writing a bunch of skits, my wife said, "Why don't you just write the whole play?" So I wrote the whole play. So actually, the entire play, which is written in verse, rhyming whatever. And so I wrote the whole thing, and she's been using that for a number of years, and so I'm quite familiar with it. So it's fairly easy for me to drop in.
I don't even understand how
I wouldn't even know. Where do you even start? I mean, that's very impressive to sit down and write a whole play and skits. I mean, your imagination just has to be I mean, endless.
Well, thanks. I actually teach theater, and I teach playwriting and screenwriting, and I also I've been acting at the Shakespeare Festival up in Bloomington for.
Are you at Wesleyan?
Yeah,
Is that right?
I teach.
Yeah,
I
Wesleyan,
teach.
yeah.
I run
I don't want to say the wrong college.
Yep, Illinois Wesleyan, and I run the acting program and the film program at Illinois Wesleyan. So I kind of do a lot of this stuff. So it only stands to reason that my wife would, dragoon
Go
me
out of town and have you work on it.
into helping out.
You come from a family background of actors,
Well,
correct?
Well,
I mean, we would be remiss not to mention
John Locke.
Yeah,
right. There's one other. I actually am one of 11 children, and there are 2 actors in the bunch, and one of them is me, and the other one is my big brother Terry, who won an Emmy Award for his performance of John Locke on the ABC television series Lost.
Yeah, I'm still mad about the ending on that.
It was.
And you know what? And I've watched it twice.
Yes.
I already knew the ending and didn't like it.
I've been watching for 6 years for that.
Yeah, come on.
What happened there?
It was a fun show.
It was.
He was the man.
Oh, it was great. We had parties. It showed on Wednesday night. We would have Wednesday night Lost parties, and Kim's colleagues from the high school would come out, and we'd all have dinner and watch Lost. And once in a while, he'd call us. I remember, and some of her colleagues would get on the phone and talk to Terry. It was very fun. Yeah, it was really, really fun.
Well, if he ever comes to visit, we'd like to have him on.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
We'll talk about Lost.
He's usually game. I'll let him know.
Where does he live?
He lives in Virginia Beach.
Oh.
He actually now anymore because he doesn't really. He doesn't really have to audition anymore because everybody knows his work.
Yeah.
So he used to have to be in Los Angeles so he could run out and do an audition and such. But now
they call
him and he's able to go out and do it when he needs to. Of course, there hasn't been much work lately because the writers have been on strike and the actors are on strike, and so he's taking very long walks.
I was going to say, everybody's on strike. They haven't came to an end on that, have they?
I think the writers worked it out. I believe the writers did, but the actors are still on strike.
But just for we're way off base here. But for clarification, Netflix and those guys don't have to go through that. They can still.
It depends. It's different. Yeah, they're striking against the big studios, and I don't know. It's sort of like there's some.
If he wanted to do something with Netflix, though, he could.
I don't know if that's true, Joe. I'm not sure about that.
I knew it was off base, but I just was curious.
We had to go off track there a little bit.
That's what we do.
Let's bring it back in and get to why we're really here, and that's these fine young students behind us. Go ahead and we'll go ahead and introduce them. Test.
There you go.
All right, so we'll start with this.
Hello.
Right here.
I am Wyatt Olvested. I am a junior this year, and I am going to be Shakespeare in the Madrigal.
All right.
So technically, I'm one of the bigger
a
characters.
junior. Seems like we interview this guy for the past 10 years. He's just kind of always here.
You're Shakespeare.
Yeah. Shakespeare.
That is the lead role.
No, it's actually one of the skits I wrote. He's the lead role in that skit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a skit. Shakespeare has lost his gift, and he doesn't know what to do about it.
The bane of all writers' existence, writer's block.
Writer's block. But he gets inspired because it's Christmas, and he works it out.
Yeah.
So, spoiler alert.
Well,
spoiler alert.
Sorry about that.
Don't watch this if you don't want to see spoilers.
All right.
You've been doing this forever.
Right.
I'm Emma Adams.
Exactly.
I'm also a junior, and I'm the head wench in the Madrigal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next.
I'm Charlie McFadden. I'm a junior, and I am the jester, or one of them.
I'm Lacey Buss. I'm a senior, and I'm the serf's wife in one of the skits that Tom wrote. And this is Jasmine Leon. She's a junior. She's kind of sick right now, so she asked me to talk for her. Okay. And she's one of the maidens in one of the skits as well.
She's saving her voice.
My name is Nick O'Laughlin. I'm a senior, and I am the peasant serf in the skit Farcical Romance.
I am Logan Pumphrey. I am a senior, and I am the king of the Madrigal.
The king. All right.
Is that where you want to be? Is the king?
Sure. I mean, there are all of these guys. The jesters. We have 2 jesters this year, and the wench are in lots of respects. They sort of host the event. They're the ones that come out and welcome. They do the first welcome, and they come out and talk to the audience when it's time to transition from one thing to another. One of the tricky things about a Madrigal dinner is that sometimes it's a series of performance pieces. There's songs, there's skits, there's poetry, there's all these different little pieces, and in between them, we stop and eat. So one of the things that we work on is how do the actors who are up in front of the audience, sitting at a big long table of their own, how do they communicate to the audience that it's time to stop acting and start eating? And so it's an interesting kind of genre because it's not a contiguous show. There's time during the show for everybody to have, food comes out, people can talk to the other people at their tables and so on, and then they have to start the next thing, so they have to interrupt the talk and get everybody's attention for the next song or whatever it may be. So that's what a lot of the rehearsals.
I know Joe's next question. What type of food do you serve?
Oh God, what are we serving?
Is it the medieval time?
Yes, it is.
Type food.
Does anybody know the menu for?
We have the boar's head.
Well, why don't we give her a microphone?
Yeah, let's give you a microphone.
We're pitching the dinner now.
Yeah.
It should be ham, all ground potatoes, like beans and stuff. There should be, salad, red velvet cake. We've got wassail for drinks and tea.
So no figgy pudding. They sing the figgy pudding song, but I think actually Joyce Kinsey at the Maple Club, she actually did serve real figgy pudding, but it's not practical. So
I remember we used to go to it when I was out there.
Yeah, it was really good.
Joyce, they fixed all the food and everything.
Yeah, it was a perfect place for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is like us discussing chemical engineering. Like we don't know how this works. I'm fascinated.
We're not real creative or.
Well, honestly, Kim's father, my wife's father, was his career was as a high school choir teacher, and he met Kim's mother at college in the vocal music program. They have 2 daughters, and both of them have grown up to be high school choir teachers. And their father, he put on a madrigal. He started this. He put on a madrigal dinner every Christmas, I remember when I first joined the family, helping out, like carrying a big roasting pan with a big beef roast in there. He actually did everything. He actually, they cooked the food at his house. Yeah, it was quite something. So Kim has, she's advanced the effort. Now she actually has professional cooks doing it, which is probably better.
It's less that she has to focus on, and she can focus on the program itself.
For sure,
yeah.
and it's a huge undertaking in any case. And so I reflect on that, and I can't imagine how he did it. He had lots of help in the family and stuff. But this is, the dinners are it's a wonderful dinner. It's a great meal, and it's really beautiful entertainment.
It's a good time.
Yeah,
and
it's a terrific time.
Kudos to all of you that step up in front of people and act.
Yes, for sure.
I couldn't do it.
No, absolutely.
No, and then sing also.
Yeah, singing and remembering your lines.
Oh yeah,
your cues and all that.
These guys, actually, I got to say, I've been doing this for a number of years, and I said to them after the first day I came in to rehearse with them that it's always a struggle for my wife to get for the students to get their lines memorized. And by the time usually when I show up, which is kind of late in the process, they're still reading and trying to figure out what they're saying. These guys are quite good. They're ahead of the game, so I expect that their performance is going to be really strong because we actually, once you get the book out of your hands, you can really start rehearsing. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what these guys can do.
It's a lot of work and a lot of time.
Yeah, for sure.
Hats off to you guys for doing it. Yeah. It's good stuff. You need to try to get out there to that Sunday show this year.
That sounds fun. And you'd say tickets are $15?
Correct.
Which,
that's a show and a meal.
That's a show and a meal.
We're going to make you go back through that again and tell us those times and that phone number.
I got to make sure I didn't miss any information because I'll catch heck for it.
You do not want Miss Quinn mad at us.
Or you. You got to go. Pressure's on.
I should also say that that they're doing it in the cafeteria, and I've been talking about how wonderful the Maple Club was as a venue, and so was the
Lincoln Banquet
Center. Thank you. I can never remember the name of that.
LBC.
Thank you. But they actually, with the help of parents and other people who want to assist, they deck the place out. It's very Christmassy. So the high school cafeteria will be decked with trees and garland and lights and everything else, and it's a beautiful event. So
we have some updated information just to throw out there. So Sunday the tickets are $15, but it's dessert only.
Oh, thank you. Oh gosh.
So you might have might have had a riot coming in when they're going to come think they're hungry.
Sorry, honey.
Well, I mean, it's not just going to be what's on there that's going to be there, because
thank you, Scott.
PQ wants also some of the students to also make some stuff for it, like for some of the performances. Am I correct?
Just some baked goods.
Yeah, just some baked goods. But with how many students we had, that'll be quite a lot.
It should be just a bake sale, so we're going to make some stuff to sell at different performances.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys are?
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole class.
Okay.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of stuff there, more than what's on the menu.
Okay, what is one of the items on the menu is wassail?
It's sort of like a cidery, it's a very flavorful cider drink.
Okay.
Kind of like warm apple cider almost.
Ooh, I like that.
It's like a warm Christmas punch.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're going to Sunday's show, it's only dessert.
Thank you, Scott. You saved the day.
Well, that was Lloyd. He sent it to me.
Okay.
He's like,
thank you, Lloyd.
Yeah, you might have had a riot Sunday.
He saved you from coming home to an angry wife.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Well, but
otherwise, I think you did an excellent job.
You did a fantastic job. Fantastic.
Thanks.
Yeah. So
we gave these guys a lot of credit, but you did follow directions.
I did. Yes. Yeah.
Do we know how many tickets are sold?
I don't. Do we know what the
we've sold 105 tickets for Sunday. There's currently 45 tickets left for Sunday.
So 150
per performance.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
great.
I'm good at math.
Way to go.
Thank you.
This guy saw you tapping your foot.
Yeah. And obviously, all the proceeds are going to benefit the Lincoln Community High School choir.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
And I know we've had Kim on in the past for plays and stuff like that. Do you guys are you guys working on anything for your? Is it?
For the spring musical?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll get there eventually.
What's the spring musical going to be?
Little Women.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
The cast will be surprisingly short. I think it's like, what, 6?
Rumored 10 roles max for the spring musical this year.
Yeah. So it's not a lot.
How many do you guys have in the madrigal? I mean, you obviously have more that didn't show up, correct?
30? No, it's up 20 something.
Around 20 or 30.
Yeah, and that's just the
Between 20 and 30.
And that's just like the parts, not really including a lot of the other like courtiers and the other people who don't really have specific parts and they're just like noble.
Yeah, and they're in a super long table up in front of the audience, and they're all sitting up there. The king and queen and prince and princess sit at the center of the head table, and the jesters and wench don't really sit at the head table because they're servants, and so they kind of bounce in and out, But they're all. I should also say that over the years, when Kim first started doing this, she had to kind of scrape together whatever she could in terms of costumes that looked vaguely like Renaissance clothes. But over the years, she has developed quite a collection, and the costumes are beautiful. They're fabulous.
She has a whole couple wardrobes.
Yeah. So it's a complete theater experience, and it is a fantastic way to start the holiday season.
I agree.
Yeah, it's terrific.
Glad the first one's sold out. Try to get that Sunday sold out.
Yeah.
You've given the information, I think you've done an excellent job.
Thank you, Joe.
Absolutely.
And we're not going to make you guys sing. I guess we'll make that in the spring. You guys have to sing for
Yeah,
us.
Jasmine's going to have to save her voice anyway, so she'll be singing
Well,
on
we'll let
Saturday
you
and
off the
Sunday.
hook this time. But next time, you're not going to be so lucky.
We want to thank you guys for coming on.
Yeah,
Oh, what a
absolutely.
pleasure.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
Thank
good,
you. Nice
and
work.
It sounds, amazing. Saturday with the meal, and then Sunday doing it again, and
With just dessert, Scott. Just
dessert,
on
which I'm fine with that.
We
just
know
go
that.
in and start eating dessert.
Yes.
that's better than the meal anyway.
Oh
right?
yes, but it's going to be a wonderful show, and so Sunday will be a great time too.
Well, guys, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it. I don't know. Do you tell them good luck? Break a leg.
Break a leg.
Break a leg.
Break a
All right,
leg.
break a leg this upcoming Saturday and Sunday. I'm sure to be fantastic, and we look forward to talking to you guys back in the spring.
Will do. Thank you for having us, man.
Thank you very
Anytime.
much. It was a pleasure.
Anytime.
All right. Well, let's
Appreciate
take a commercial break. We come back. We'll wrap it up here on the Cheap Seats on WLCN 96.3 FM.
this is Weird Al Yankovic, and you're listening to Cheap Seats with Joe, Jake, Jim, Lloyd, and Shabadoo. On 96.3 FM, WLCN.
I don't know.
I thought he was talking about the guy who came through the door. I was like,
That's Weird
what are
Al.
we talking
His
about?
name might be Al too. We don't know.
It was Gazzardo. Hey, that's Billy Squire.
Oh, that's funny.
The great Billy Squire.
Billy Squire. I knew that.
We're joined now by Chuckles McFadden.
That's right.
I think he goes by Chuck, but I call him
You
Chuckles.
call him Chuckles?
Yep.
Chuckles
He
is
has for years, yeah.
First thing we're going to say is assistant football coach out there for how long?
This would be my 10th season, actually.
10 seasons out there, and I personally can stand up for you and say, well, you do a lot of good things for kids. I mean, not only the coaching of football, but you're a good mentor for kids.
Yeah, thank you.
Lucky to have you.
Yeah, and you've been out there 10 years through the thick and thin of things.
Yep.
So this year has to be joyous for you as well. Just for seeing the kids going through that experience, making the playoffs, first time in 39 years.
Right.
10 years ago, I mean, we were lucky to win 1 or 2 games, and just how this program is turned around, and it's great for the kids, but it's also great for the coaches to see some of that success pour out.
100%, yep. I mean, 10 years ago, I mean, like you said, lucky to win a game, but I mean, now it's,
and you know what?
They just don't give up, which is fun.
And I feel like everybody was real worried about we're going back to Central State 8. We're going back to Central State 8. No, man, we can be competitive in that. With the way they've changed things and the way we don't have to play the powerhouses, all of them, every year, Lincoln can be competitive in that conference.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah. And it's proven it this year.
Yep.
Now, let's talk about what's going on here. And I tell you what, I think we're going to let Ms. Neal come sit in on this too.
Carolyn Neal,
I'm gonna pop out. I gotta hang out and do trick or treating at the office. So I'm gonna pop out,
and she can sit here.
I'm gonna let her pop in here so you can.
We would rather have her anyway.
Coach Ryan, yeah, I got you.
You can put those on. And she can come over here.
We got a phone call.
Okay.
Somebody's on the line. Go ahead, caller.
Okay, go ahead, caller.
Yeah, I just wondered who made the pairings for last night's football game. Who made that decision? Because it was a very poor decision on my aspect.
IHSA.
Well, we're not going to disagree with you, but it is the IHSA that puts all the pairings out there.
Correct.
And it's based on kind of your location where you're at, if you're going north or south. And obviously records have a lot to do with it. It's a tough gig to do.
Playoff points.
Sometimes we don't like the decisions. It was the right decision. I mean, as far as playing Rochester last night, just where we stood in our record and the where we're located in Illinois. They're not wanting these teams to travel 2, 3, 4 hours just to make it a better matchup. They try to keep it centrally located. Helps out your fan base.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we took on a juggernaut last night in Rochester. Probably the #1 team in 4A in the state. And it's just sometimes that's the way it plays out. We would rather see somebody different, obviously.
Sure.
But, it's a tough gig. I know the IHSA, they take a lot of heat for things. It's probably not a position I'd want to be in.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's a good position. But anytime you're 5-4, you're going to play 9-0.
Yeah.
And that's rightfully so to them. If you've went 9-0, you're getting a break the first round.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's the way it works. Your better record, you get a better spot in the tournament. So
I thought you were leaving.
I am. I thought, Carol, are you going to sit down? This is it?
Oh, she don't want it.
I think they drank stupid soup before they made the decision.
Stupid soup. What would that consist of?
Can you bring some of that in?
What are the ingredients there?
Apparently, I've been eating it for a long time.
Yeah. But you invent stupid soup?
I got cans of it at home. But we appreciate you, Carl. We understand your frustrations. Obviously, we didn't want the Railers to end their season the way they did, but they played a heck of a game last night. They left it out all on the field. They've got nothing to be disappointed in. They hold their heads high, and they had a fantastic season, and we'll build on that and still show them our support in the community. And hopefully, I know Lincoln Raider football, the mentality has changed.
I think so.
And and so future teams, we can build off this, and we'll see what happens.
Yep. I mean, I have been watching basketball for a long time on the computer, but last fall when my daughter come home, she set me up to where I could watch it on my TV.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing. And I'm not from Lincoln. My kids went to Lincoln. I'm from Mount Pulaski.
Okay.
And so, anyway, but I follow it because ever since my kids been in school, I've been following the ball.
Well, basketball season's right around the corner, and you'll be able to catch all that action here on WLCN with myself and Josh Komnick.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So, all right. We look forward to tuning in. All right, thanks for the call.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate your show.
All right, thanks for calling.
Bye.
All right. We are at the Lincoln Christian Church in the Fellowship Hall here for the Harvest Talents, and now we got a couple of individuals here that know a lot more about this than I do. First of all, I don't know who wants to kind of elaborate on this, but tell us exactly what's going on out here, just to simply put it.
Yeah, so I'm David Stein. I'm the executive director of IDES. Lincoln Christian Church has had the Harvest of Talents for 40 years. This is 40 years. And IDES has always been the recipient of that and used it to help hunger needs all around the world. So right here, right now, there's just a lot of people from Lincoln who care about hungry people, and there's a lot of shopping. There's a lot of good food. I love all the crafts and stuff, but I'm here for the food.
The food
is good. Cinnamon rolls to walking tacos. We got brisket getting ready to go on outside as well.
Yep.
It's a great time to come eat some food, buy some great stuff, and know that 100% of what you pay for your item is going to go help somebody who's hungry and starving all around the world.
Before the show started, I had the opportunity to be taken on a tour to show me kind of exactly what was going on. And you have a little station set up back there where they're packing the food that's going to be sent overseas to I guess third world countries, just obviously it's a small scale of what really happens, but it just gives families the opportunities to see what's going on, how they do it, and what it's for. And I thought that was pretty neat.
That's right, and that's one aspect. Packing food gives somebody a chance here in Lincoln, Illinois, or St. Louis, or wherever you are, to actually get your hands on something, leave a fingerprint on something it's going to go help in one of these countries and take care of people. In other places, it makes more sense to buy food locally. It's just a matter of where does it make the most sense and what method makes the most sense financially and for that community as well. So we do a little bit of both.
Yeah. So I talk about packing food, and it's not like we're packing up T-bones and all this food that we're accustomed to and fortunate to get. Yeah. It's your simple stuff, soybeans and stuff like that. And it's something that these people, countries, they appreciate, and it's something simple, nutritious, and it's food, but it's not on the what we're accustomed to.
That's right. It's assembly line style, packing in rice and then soy, dehydrated vegetables, and then really the most important part to us is there's a vitamin pack with vitamins and minerals, 21 essential vitamins and minerals that's there, and then that's 6 meals that goes around, and they can boil it up, they can eat it. In most countries, they're going to put their own spices in it, so it's kind of like a rice casserole when it's done, and they're going to put whatever they want flavor-wise in it to make it taste good.
Now, this is probably just one of many facilities that are doing this. How many meals do you guys typically produce to send over?
So the meal packing, we produce 2 to 3 million a year that goes around the world. And then again, the harvest stuff, the majority of the harvest funds actually go to purchase food in country rather than the meals. the meals is another way that we fight hunger. But most of what's going on today and the money that happens today goes to purchase food in country for longer term feeding programs.
Nice.
And you say 1 to 2 million. Do you guys have a facility that you use? Where are you guys? I don't want to say your workshop or your warehouse, but where do you put these meals together at?
Yeah, so we actually go all around the country to pack them, just like we are here. We'll show up at somebody's church or a community center or wherever that the pack is scheduled to be. They're going to be packed there, and then we ship them back to our headquarters, which is Noblesville, Indiana, just on the north side of Indianapolis.
Absolutely.
And from there, they get distributed. They usually go about 260,000 meals into a 40-foot shipping container and shipped to the various countries wherever the need is for that.
Well, I know with things going on right now over in the Middle East and the unfortunate events, is that something that you guys will try to focus on to help out those people over there right now? Or how do you choose where these go? Or do you choose it just kind of dispersed wherever the need is?
We do. We try to make sure that we have good, reliable partners and people on the ground, whether it's our own people or people that we've worked with for years. IDES has worked in 131 countries around the world, so we have reliable people that we work with all the time. So, knowing that we can pour into the community and make sure that people are actually going to be taken care of. We're very big on making sure help gets all the way through all the red tape and everywhere to actually get to the people that need it.
Say there's got to be a lot of hoops to jump through.
There is. It can be a mess. Yeah.
It's probably hard to facilitate how to get. I mean, we're not talking just shipping across the country. You're going,
into
over
a port.
Yeah, a port where we know ports how they've been in the past and just all backed up, and it's got to be tough. Just to facilitate it.
Yeah. 50 years. We've been doing it 50 years, and so we've become pretty decent at getting it through all the customs hoops and everything that has to happen, making sure that the people on the ground in those regions, whether that's where an earthquake has happened or whether there's a war that's ongoing, to make sure it gets right to the people that need it the most.
Yeah, absolutely. If somebody would want to get involved in something like this, how would they contact you guys just to volunteer their time?
Yeah. They can reach us at our headquarters at IDES.org.
Now, where are you based out of?
So Noblesville, Indiana. That's where I'm from. That's where my team that came here today to celebrate. This is a Lincoln Christian Church event.
Right.
So they put it on, and we just get to partner and be part of it. And we got 5 or so other churches that do events similar to this, and all get to be blessing. But Lincoln started it. Other people saw Lincoln and said, "Wow, this is pretty neat. Can we help hungry people like this?" And it just grew exponentially. So it's been a lot of fun.
All right, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead and throw out how they would get involved.
So they can reach out to us. Our email at IDES is IDES@IDES.org. So IDES@IDES.org is the easy way to get a hold of us and find out, or volunteer at IDES.org, or they can reach out to us at our offices, 317-773-4111.
Okay. Hopefully Lloyd can get all that information. We'll get it on our website and then post it there on our YouTube video, which you can watch anytime. It's always in our archives. Obviously, you probably also take money donations, anything like that. Anything helps.
It does.
And, it's kind of a, I guess, rewarding job you have, just knowing, we take a lot of things for granted. There's always going to be food on the table, and then in these third world countries, it's they don't know how they're going to find their next meal. And for a program like this, that a lot of people don't really know about, I guess, or even want to participate in, but it's for a great cause. And you can just imagine, kids over there starving, looking for their next meal. Well, this is something that can really help them out tremendously.
That's right. It really curbs hunger. These are long-term programs in some very needy areas, including leper colonies in India and groups like that. So it's people who don't have. This is not just people who have chosen not to, who maybe don't have as much as others. These are the don't haves. They're really the least of these type people.
Yeah, it's amazing. And to be honest, this is the first time I've seen it, and it's really really eye-opening of what a community can do to help out other people. A small community like Lincoln, you can see the turnout. It's fantastic, and it's something that I would encourage others to get involved in. Even if you're not part of a certain church,
that's right.
You're never going to be turned away if you want to volunteer your time.
Absolutely, and you talk about small town, but 40 years, and Pat Snyder, a seemingly simple woman who just said, "Hey, I need to do this. I have a passion for this." That's how this started, and millions have been fed since because of this program. Our own ministry, 50 years, auto parts manufacturing plant out of Marion, Indiana, and Milton Bates said, "Hey, somebody should do something." People said, "Well, why don't you do it?" And so he stepped up, continued his job, started calling people all around the world, and here we are. So it doesn't take somebody with a degree in this to make something happen and make a big change around the world. Somebody
just
with a heart and a passion. Exactly it.
And how long have you been with IDES?
I've been here for 7.5 years. The last 2 as the director, and before that in operations for the organization.
So it's been a blessing. So you probably keep busy year round. And probably some sleepless nights and
you bet. You bet. So we do a lot. We do hunger relief. We do disaster response, community development, such as clean water and wells, and then medical programs as well. And then we are faith-based, so evangelism, disciple-making programs as well. But we got volunteer teams in Florida working with hurricane response right now as well. So here in the U.S. and around the world, there's a lot of need, a lot of people that you can help.
Absolutely.
So good.
Anything else you guys want to throw out there that I might have missed, which I'm sure I did?
I think you're doing great, man. I mean, just come on out. We'll be here for a while longer. It's always fun to come to the auction at 2. There'll be an auction a little bit later on with some of the goods that people have made here and things like that.
The quilts back there are amazing. I know you have a bunch of ladies that, make quilts throughout the year, and then they sell them off. And I was looking at some of them earlier, and that takes a special skill.
Yeah, it sure does, I mean, it's crazy the things they can do.
If you're in Lincoln and you want to get in on this, reach out to this church and they'll plug you in, because this is an annual thing. So it's a blast every single year.
Absolutely. Well, being from Noblesville, you probably attend a lot of concerts over there, huh?
Where I used to live, I could hear them just in my backyard, right over there by Ruoff.
Great venue over there. I know they have some pretty big names over there.
They do.
They do.
It's got to be pretty convenient. Oh, you want to go to a concert? You're just down the road.
Yep, it is.
That would be fun. Well, guys, thanks for having us today. What you guys do out here is fantastic, and hopefully it just grows as it gets out. I mean, it's been around 40 years.
40 years.
I don't know how people don't know about it by now, but hopefully we can get some of the younger generation involved. Because it's tough to do these days, getting people interested, involved, volunteer. But hopefully we can get this information out and just grow from here.
Well, I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for Link Christian Church for having us out here. We enjoyed it. We always like a new venue. So next week we're going to be at Jake's Furnishings. We're going to have the high school football seniors on. You're more than welcome to join us.
I might.
Come on
back out.
We'll have donuts. We'll have donuts for you. So we'll talk to you next week. Thanks for tuning in to the Cheap Seats on WLCN 96.3 FM.
This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com.
The Cheap Seats live Saturday morning sports show on
program is a presentation of
96.3
WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.